Hi, everybody. It's Noelle. Welcome back, 2026. Oh my gosh, can you believe it? This is my first live of the year, and I just wanted to come on. I had no plans. I actually had a meeting and realized it wasn't going to happen and was like, I think I'll go live. So here I am. Welcome. Good to see you all. I missed you over the holiday. As many of you know, over the holiday period from around December 18th all the way into the day my kids go back to school, I try to just take time off. And yeah, y'all know me. I can't not work per se because I love what I do. It doesn't feel like work. So I like thinking about the future of artificial intelligence and AI leadership. I think about it all the time. But no calls, right? No, going anywhere, no traveling. So it was beautiful. My family and I got to spend lots of quality time together. We went ice skating, and I will say, the best skater. It doesn't really say much, but but I was pretty happy to encourage my kiddos. My kiddos ended up skating. We go skating every year as part of our routine collection of traditions that we do. But this year, the girls ended up skating solo, no help, no wall. It was a proud moment. For those of you on my private Instagram, y'all can see some of those details, but it was really fun. So, welcome back to 2026. I am actually here because I wanted to give you a couple updates. And I also want to let you know that Good Morning AI is going to be coming to you live more and more often. I have so many fun stages and events planned for this year, starting with CES. So if you are headed to CES, I hope I'll see you there. It is this week, happening tomorrow. So hopefully you are headed over there. If you are, please let me know. I would love to meet you in person. I am also super excited to be joined by some of my own AI leadership C-suite team at CES. So we'll be talking about that more in just a few minutes. But first and foremost, all right, let's do this. I invited some guests for the first time ever. So I'm going to see if I know how to do this. Let's see if it works out. All right, here we go. Is it happening? Are you ready? Ped Media, are you ready? Are we doing it? It looks like you're ready. All
Hi,
right,
I
hold on.
am. Yay.
Oh, there you are. Yay. Hi. Here
Hi.
we are
I
live.
know.
Oh my gosh.
Amazing. Okay,
Say
let's
hello
do
and tell everyone a little bit about who you are in case they've not seen you on the live before.
it. Hey everyone, I'm Padmini Soni. I'm the founder of Resonance AI and the head of AI, Responsible AI Growth at the AI Leadership Institute, founded
Yay.
by the amazing Noelle. So I'm in the responsible AI space, been in the tech space for over 25 years. I stopped there. I always say over 25 years. I'm not going to go beyond
That's
that.
right. It'll just be, it's like being 29. It's like
Exactly.
we're 29 every year.
Yeah.
Once we have
Yeah.
25 years of experience, nobody needs to know those details.
Nobody needs to know any more deeds. So
Amazing.
excited to be here, Noelle.
I'm so
It's
excited
the
to have you.
first
All right,
time I'm
cool.
live.
Exactly. So, welcome everyone. Nice to see you. So I have a couple things that I thought we could talk about because you and I are headed to CES. You're actually headed like right now, today, tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm leaving this afternoon.
All right, awesome. Do you have plans? Like what are you planning on doing while you're there?
So Pete's AI house at CES. I'm helping him with that. So I'm very excited. This is my first time at CES. So I've heard so much about it. I don't know what to expect.
Oh
So
my
I,
gosh,
yeah,
so fun.
yeah,
So I'll give you my tips to do before I get there, because of
okay,
course we should have dinner the night before, and then we'll be doing workshops on
absolutely.
Friday.
Yeah.
But my favorite thing to do is to walk around so there's a couple when you go to CS, it's massive, right? There are so many different areas, but there are areas that I focus on, and you'll probably find your own special area that you like to go to. But my favorite two areas are one, home, of course, smart home. So this is like where
Hmm.
LG and Samsung are like going at it with smart refrigerators, smart stoves. It's super cool. So I always go
So
there.
cool.
And then
Okay.
the other area is AI education. And I guess there's two areas that are tied. AI education, which is like edutech and all of the different things that are going to be
Hmm.
coming to classrooms, but then also the area of accessibility. And I mean, there's
Oh,
so many, but these are the ones I usually hit first. And then I know you might not have these, but this I always wear these glasses so I can capture all of the demos live. Uh-oh, what'd I do? I clicked a button. My bad. Sorry, Padmini. You're coming back. Hold on. There you
Okay,
are.
there I am.
It's because my glasses fell on the keyboard. I didn't know I could hit the space bar and you would go away. Yeah, so I have these like Ray-Ban glasses, so you can click on them as you're walking around and just, oh, of course they're dead right now, but I could just walk around and take video of all of the different demonstrations. And it's also really cool. And you could do this with your smartphone, but just ask them to demonstrate for you. And you could get so much content that you can use in your own channels and your own stuff. It's pretty cool.
I know. Oh, I'm going to do that for sure. I don't have those glasses. I don't have those Meta glasses, but I'm going to be using my phone. So,
Yay! Awesome. Awesome. Okay. I'm going to I have a couple things I thought we could talk about, and we're not going to be
mhm.
here long. It's just like a little, quick get online, say hello to our friends. But the first thing is that there is some really interesting news that came out. Before the holidays, a lot of people were talking about how, I don't know, like I think I was at an event and they asked me about the AI bubble or the AI
Yeah.
hype, and that 2026 might change things from an AI perspective. But I think it's important to kind of look at some of the macroeconomic signals. And so NVIDIA had one of its strongest Q4s ever, which means that organizations are not slowing spending on AI. They are actually increasing spending on
hmm
AI,
hmm
especially AI infrastructure. But I think what's different about 2026 is that we are finally, right? I wrote a book on the concept of going from enthusiasm to
To
execution.
execution.
Yeah, I think 2026 is gonna be a lot more about operationalizing artificial
hmm
intelligence.
hmm
What are you seeing? And also, you didn't tell people from where you are
Oh,
from.
yeah.
I think that's important too. So tell people where you're from
Yes.
and what your thoughts are on that.
So I am from the Midwest. I live 1 foot into Iowa on the west side of the Mississippi, and I coincidentally, Noel, the I heard Jeetu Patel, who is the president and chief product officer of at Cisco. I heard him on, I think it was the Everyday AI podcast, and he talked about three blockers to AI adoption, and one of them being infrastructure. So, and you mentioned the AI bubble and the AI hype, and he was talking about what is overhyped and what is underhyped. And I think what is overhyped about this whole AI thing is everybody's going to lose their jobs and we are just going to be sitting by the seaside doing nothing.
Yes.
That is so completely not true. And what he said was underhyped is how we can use AI to actually, augment our thinking in finding like patterns that the humans can't, like solving cancer, for instance,
Right.
or finding ways to, leverage our mental capacities. So I think that is under hype. So we definitely 2026, I'm hoping will kind of sort of move these in the opposite directions so that we come to start level setting how AI is actually viewed and do it responsibly while
Yes,
at it.
of course.
Yeah.
Exactly. I feel the same way. And I think, I think responsibility is going to take a slightly different perspective in the new
hmm
year around, again, we're moving from kind of thinking about it to being about it. And as we
hmm
begin to do things and operationalize AI, there's going to be a real need for organizations to actually have practical application, right? Not just
Yeah.
talking about how do we become responsible, not just building policies and writing documentation and creating model cards, but
Right.
how does an organization actually like document all of that? Like, how do they prove that the AI systems they've built are responsible? And so I think, I've been talking a lot over the break about assurance, AI assurance, and this concept of building trust with it's
hmm
almost like an insurance policy for
Yeah.
artificial intelligence. Like, how can
Yeah.
I ensure that when I build something that there are humans in the loop and where are they and is it
Right.
audible and does it comply with the EU AI Act and the NIST,
Frame.
regulatory
Yeah.
guidelines? Like all of these things, I think it's such a huge and really cool opportunity. And what that means really is that yes, of course, there's technical leadership that's necessary, but it also requires really just organizational leadership. And so
hmm
I'm going to
hmm
bring up Sky, our partner in crime. Hello, Sky. Are you here? Join us. She might just, oh,
Hey,
there she is.
Sky.
It's so exciting. We did it. So this I think it's a really interesting time because as I go into organizations, and I'm talking right now to a lot of life sciences organizations, and these life sciences and healthcare organizations, specifically regulated industry, healthcare, finance. I mean, it's interesting. In March, I'm speaking to 5 different banks, and they don't know that I'm talking to all of them, but they're huge banks, and I'm like, I don't know. They're all asking the same question, but they think they're asking it kind of independently, right? Like they think they're like, I want to know really quick. And the questions they're asking is how do we make sure that all of these things we're doing actually create a safe, responsible outcome for our business? How do we make sure that we don't hurt our customers? So I think it's pretty cool. But the good news is like I said, NVIDIA has increased their spending, or has the demand for NVIDIA services has increased, meaning companies are investing in the hardware, in the infrastructure, and the technology. They are also going to have to equally invest in infrastructure to actually preserve the trust and security of these systems. And
Mhm, mhm.
something that we all have worked on. Now, the next thing I wanted to talk about was a little bit about some AI, capabilities. We're going to be at CES, so Padmini and I um, are going to be working. Pete Erickson, he runs the AI House. If you're going to be at CES, come see us at the AI House. It'll be
No, come see us.
we're going to be doing back-to-back workshops. So we have I'll be doing 2 strategy workshops, which I'm going to be talking about my philosophy on AI assurance and building operational trust. So it'll be very exciting. But then right after that, there's a 90-day kind of blueprint exercise that you'll do with Padmini, and Yuvika is going to be with you. No,
Yes. Yeah,
yes,
Yuvika and I will be doing
amazing.
that. It's
So
almost like a checklist that we are building.
yeah,
So,
exactly, exactly. And so it'll be a wonderful 1-2 punch, if you will. So we're really excited. Seats are selling out, so come on over. But as a result of that, I wanted to, of course, welcome Sky. Thank you for joining us. Our operational, back end of I think your time, you've been kind of educating yourself on all the things AI leadership over the last year with our group, but you I think are going to hit your stride this coming year because people are going to need to know how to actually manage this work, and that's kind of your specialty. Tell everyone who you are and a little bit about what you do.
Sure. Hello, everyone. I am Skyman Evans. I am the COO for the AI Leadership Institute. And what do? I help everyday leaders understand AI as a think partner, not just a tool that you use every day. So, from an operations perspective, I'm always thinking of how can we simplify this process? How can we amplify the organization and the processes that we've put in place to make it more efficient for ourselves and make work easier, not harder. So that is ultimately my goal. But I also need reminders. So reminders always come into play with AI as well. So those reminders and using the right tools to keep us honest and within the right structure that I use that as well.
Yes, I love it. I love it. So I was looking up, over the last 2 weeks, I kind of went a little quiet in our communities and spent time with the family, but I can't help but keep up to date with what's happening. And of course, CES is coming down the pipe. So there's all these cool new tools that are out. And I'd be interested to know if you guys either got new cool tech of your own over Christmas. I certainly did. I did get a new Surface, a Copilot PC. So we'll be setting that up in our AI Leadership Institute together. But I also got something crazy, which is called, I don't know if you've heard of this. It's called a learning glass. Have you heard of it? The
no, tell
learning
us more.
glass. So you should look it up. This one is actually called, I think it was a reflection something. I can't remember the name of the company that did it, but the learning glass. I don't know if you've ever seen these YouTube videos where someone's writing on a clear pane of glass, and but you could see what they're writing even though it's very fancy. So anyway, I'm super excited. I set it up yesterday. So I will be doing a session. We'll see. Maybe I'll even use it for our Design Your Life session in our community this week. But that's, I've got now a Copilot PC. And the special thing about that is it's neural processing unit, right? So I can now run more AI on
Mhm.
device without actually impacting the CPU or any of the other applications that are running. So I'm super excited about that. One thing that was a little challenging though is that, and I'm sure y'all know this, but the Copilot is tied to my like personal Copilot account, not my like professional Copilot account, and all my stuff anyway. So there's some weird backlash going on in the
with
world of Microsoft
Microsoft.
right now around this. I'm not going to reuse the term because I don't want to contribute to the backlash, but they're saying it's a little bit weird that you have this like dichotomy of professional and personal, and there's not an easy way to switch them. Like it's built for personal, which is weird because Microsoft owns like 90% of the Fortune 500's professional environment. So that being said, I'm like, I'm not sure how that's going to work out. But here is what Satya Nadella has been focused on over the last few days is really encouraging people to think about integration and encouraging people to think about that it's both and not either or. And I will tell you, I kind of was an either or person, right? I was kind of like, I'm not using personal, I'm only using professional. And his philosophy, and rightly so, it is the future. I think he's looking into the future, is that he wants us to use both of them and both should inform. I should be able to use the personal co-pilot to help me plan out my meals for the week with my kids. And then I should be able to go and switch to the professional co-pilot that knows where my SharePoint directory and all that content is. It's just not easy right now. So I'm hoping that friction is removed. I think Microsoft has stated publicly that they're going to be really focusing on reducing that friction and increasing the integration. But I get it. I get why people are a little frustrated right now. But I'm excited. I got my Copilot PC. It's going to be the system I use with my learning glass. It's already up there. I'd show it to you right now, but it's upstairs in my studio. So that's pretty exciting. Another device at CES. And again, I want to give you guys a chance if you're thinking about a device you want to talk about or something that came up. I don't think I brought anything. I mean, we already talked about a few, but another device that came up that I actually gifted to my husband this year is a Samsung, a new projector. And we have a projector. We have one of those big inflatable screens that goes in the back of our house. So at Christmas and Halloween and during the summer, we watch movies outside. And one of the challenges is that I've got a projector and I have a big, I wish I could show it to you. It's over there, a big like stand that the projector sits on, and I have to like move it back and move it up
Yeah.
to kind of get it right on the screen perfectly. And then sometimes it's at a weird slant and I'm like, it's fine. You can't see the captions. So this new Samsung device projector, it has, I think I wrote it down, maybe I didn't, but it has auto focus and auto scaling. So it has the ability to, and it makes sense. It uses computer vision to detect your screen size. And then without you having to move it around, it automatically moves it so that it works perfectly every time. And I'll tell you, that's like 10 hours of my life I get back this year. So I'm super excited about it. But yeah, we're big movie people. So I was really excited to see that. What about either of you? Have you played around with the new device? Got any new Christmas gear you want to talk about?
So talking of projectors, my husband got a Christmas gift, which was you can connect a projector to the phone, and now you can just use your phone instead of screencasting to a TV. You can just use your phone anywhere and project onto a blank space. So I
Oh my
thought that
gosh.
was pretty, I thought that was really cool. So
Yes, I actually thought about that because in our bedroom, like when you look out at the windows, there's a big like blind that you can pull down, and it's good twice the size of our TV. And I was like, we could just use that. And my husband was like, no. So he has bigger plans. He's like, I need a 90-inch screen TV. And I will tell you, I've always said that TVs are like on this downward slope of getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. There is still a room at Best Buy that has ridiculously expensive televisions in it. It is the future of TV, and they are pretty fancy. But yeah, we're not doing that. I told him like either it's on the wall or you have to live with the TV that you got.
Oh
He
my
did not
God.
get a TV for Christmas.
I need a new remote, Noelle, for my
Yeah.
TV because I am still going left, clicking on the,
Oh
I
no.
need, yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I mean, I'm a big Fire TV. We're Fire TV people. We have Fire TVs in almost every room. And so we're big on voice enabled remotes. So we'll see. Yeah, that would be
That's the
nice.
way
What
to
about
go.
you, Sky? Did you get any fun tech gadgets?
So originally my response would be no, but this morning, like literally this morning, I
Nice.
got surprised with the Ray-Ban Meta 2.
Oh my God.
So literally I just opened up the box. I have not opened up the glasses yet and set them
Oh
up.
my
So I'm
gosh.
excited to
That is so
you know,
cool.
try them out. I was like, oh, there's a charge button here. I was like, oh, this is
Yes.
cool. So this
Fancy.
is as far as I got, and I was like, oh, okay, this is a nice Christmas
Yes.
present. Like I
Right
was not
before you
expecting it.
joined, actually, we were just talking about how when you go to events, it's really nice, especially events with booths, and you can talk to like booth staff, that you can
Yep.
just put on these glasses and like record conversations with the staff at the booth. And I wouldn't ask hard questions like, what's your responsible AI policy? Because they get all nervous. But like let them shine and show you whatever they're there to show you. And it's great content for your social media. And it's also really cool because most people aren't at CES, even though they have like 70,000 people or 130,000, 150,000. I can't even remember. A
Yeah.
huge number of people, over 100,000 people, I think, are at CES this year. So of course, but still, that's not everybody. And so it's a really great opportunity for you to like capture moments and share them. I'm excited to see, every time I see them, I'm like, where's your Ray-Bans? Like, where's the story?
Yes. And,
That's
and I was like, oh, so I'm gonna get my prescription lenses too. So that's gonna be another task within the next month or so. I was like, oh, I can set this up really so I can use these every day. So I'm excited.
yes. All right. So as we were
Yeah,
just
good to
coming
get
on.
the prescription in there.
Oh yeah. Oh well. Yeah. Mine don't, unfortunately. So I have to be like, I put them on and I'm like, hold on one second. Let me get my real glasses. But also every time I go on stage, I wear these. And I've been wearing them, like these are old. These are like the original version. So they're like 3 years old, maybe. But they still work. That's the thing about tech, right? Like, what do you do if your tech still works? I have so much tech that I'm now outgrowing that I mean, I will tell you, I have a nonprofit called Lift Up Tech. We actually are in the process of applying for the Win AI grant with Melinda Gates. Remember, we talked about it as a community. And I was like, maybe we create a give back system that allows us to, right? Like many of us have kids, though. We could just give it to our kids, but sometimes they don't want my tech. They're like, that's old tech, mom. You're like grandma tech. But there's plenty of, schools, plenty of even like mental health professionals that might like some of I have Alexa devices that are still in the box, right? Like that I never opened. And now there's new ones. So I'm never going to open that one. I'm only going to open new ones. And so Alexa Plus has kind of changed my whole life. I love Alexa Plus. I don't know if you've talked to her yet.
It's talking.
That's so cute. Okay, thanks. Yeah. So anyway, I guess I got to be careful about that. But really cool, really cool. Okay, so the last thing before we go, and of course I should open up the chat. We got some people saying hi. What? Hello, everyone. Look at what Westwood McDonald's in the house. What's up, West? West and I met on stage this year. Ruth is in the house. Y'all know Ruth. That's so cool. Nasli. Oh my gosh, Nasli's in the house. This is so cool. Oh, a new smartwatch. Yes, I did not get a new smartwatch, but as I like to, I did gift a new smartwatch to my mom. So, and then as soon as I gave it to my mom, I'm like, my mom doesn't need that much. Like, she doesn't need it as much as my dad. I should have given it to my dad. Anyway, so my dad's gonna get one too. It just won't be for Christmas. Yes. Oh my gosh, this is so cool. Well, great to see you all. This is pretty neat. Oh. Mohammed, sorry. Hopefully you don't want me to call you out. That's cool. Anyway, nice to see you all. Thank you all for joining us live. Here we go with the last thing I wanted us to talk about today, which is a crazy thing that happened over New Year's. There was a hallucination. Basically, a bunch of people, or I shouldn't say a bunch, a few people created AI content around an event that was going to happen in Brooklyn Bridge in New York City. And I'm from New York. And they basically created a bunch of content and they used old 4th of July photos on Brooklyn Bridge. And they basically said, hey, come on out to Brooklyn Bridge. And a bunch of people showed up at Brooklyn Bridge expecting a New Year's Eve fireworks display.
Sure.
And never saw it because it was all a hallucination. What's worse is that the people who promoted those fake news social media posts, it was so compelling that ChatGPT scraped that content. And actually, when people were like, hey, it became a reinforcing, like self-fulfilling prophecy where people were like, hey, ChatGPT, what's going on tonight? Where can I see fireworks? Those fake fireworks display content showed up in those. So it kind of reinforced the fact that, yeah, it actually is happening. Anyway, so I thought we could talk a little bit about I don't know. Sometimes I feel like we're in a little bubble where we feel like we've talked about hallucination and we've talked about managing that. And then this happens. And I'm like, or have we? Do we know that AI systems, like at the bottom of ChatGPT, it still says, I can be wrong. I can lie. I could tell you a non-truth. So would be really interested in both of your perspectives on this, crazy situation. One, like in the era of responsible AI, like who's responsible for this? Like the city was like, hey, we didn't post anything about that, but are they responsible for like monitoring posts? Are they, like I don't know. What do y'all think?
Do you want me to go first? I think it's really hard. I think it's really hard for the city to do that because there are so many people doing all of this. Um, but going back to that disclaimer that you said about ChatGPT, I feel that that should always exist because I think it's so hard to remove complete. I mean, make it completely hallucination free as I see it right now.
Well,
Maybe
certainly
10 years
because
from now,
like
it'll be,
most of the world doesn't use protected models, right? Most of the world is just
yeah.
going to ChatGPT in the wild and expecting it to be truthful, even if it says, I will lie to you. So yeah, I think I think you're right. I think that's very difficult to manage. What about you, Sky?
So for me, I think this is a reminder to people of how to use AI responsibly and ethically and know that there are certain things or checks and balances you need to have. So just as Pat Manny said, check the disclaimer, but it's also making sure that you slow down, check the source, see if it really is true. Understanding the transparency of that system that you're using, where you're getting that information from as well, because there's a lot of different AI tools out there where some of the information is not always transparent. So instead of people becoming fearful of AI, because I feel like this did trigger some fear for other people to use the technology, that they need to choose awareness, because ultimately AI can be extremely powerful if it's used in the right way. So I feel like the
Right.
more that people understand how the tool and the system, especially on the back end, of how they scrape data and things in that manner work, that they can understand how AI can really go wrong, and there's better ways that they can go about it.
Absolutely. And I think we started, it's a great way to end is kind of going back and looping back to the way we started, which is talking about kind of the new era of operationalizing AI, right? Like how are we going to make sure that as we deploy these systems that they are safe? And I do think that there is a responsibility on behalf of like federal agencies and state and local governments that they do now have to take responsibility for potentially bad actors, right? Submitting false information. I feel like there's AI for that. We can easily create an agent that's going to check for those things and then provide counter, right, responses, provide posts that say that's not true. Only one it would have taken, but it didn't. It kept perpetuating the idea that, yeah, it's true, it's happening. Come on out,
Mhm.
everybody, it'll be great. So I think there is a new responsibility. And with that, as I mentioned earlier, there's this concept of assurance. Like, how do we give confidence to these organizations that the AI that they're building is safe, secure, responsible, auditable, that there is a human in the loop? That's another thing. If there was a human in the loop
Yeah.
watching, right, social media, I would hope that if my job is to protect the residents of Brooklyn, right? Or the residents of the 5 boroughs who might come out to the Brooklyn Bridge to watch the fireworks, someone's looking at that, even if it wasn't AI, even if it was just a human saying, hey, come on out here and it's fake. Like there should be processes. And now more than ever, state, local governments, municipalities can just build an AI system that would just provide a very simple, that's actually not true, or the only place to find reputable event information is on our website. If it's not on our website, it doesn't exist. I
It's
just
not
think there's a
true.
little bit more responsibility that I think these organizations will need. And in 2026, right, I can assure you that all of these federal, local, state and local governments, municipalities, small businesses, we're all going to be using AI at a even greater level, if you can imagine, than we did in 2025. What's different this year is you're going to want to do it in a way that you can tell, when did it start? When did it stop? What models are we using? How are
Mhm.
they using it? How are we auditing it? And here's the good news, you don't actually have to do all of that work. There are control planes that you can use to actually monitor this behavior. And so that's some of the things that we're going to talk about this year as you all move from, excitement and enthusiasm to execution. As you start operationalizing your AI systems, how do you make sure you have a system that can promise your users that you're not going to do anything a little shady? Like, oh man, could you imagine taking your kids out to Brooklyn Bridge and waiting
So
4 hours?
So sad. And Noel, it goes back to what you were saying about even for security, the shared responsibility, framework kind of, right? I think, yes, you're 100%. The organization should have that agent that keeps checking. And like Sky said, trust but verify. We as humans, as consumers of that information, we should. So yeah, it's going to be different. It's
Yes.
evolving.
Yes, and Tara's here. What's up, Tara? Thanks for staying with us. As we close out, Tara mentioned, I think it's incumbent on individuals to double check, just like you said, right? Trust but verify. But honestly, it's like verify and verify. Like, don't
I
trust it at
know.
all, right? Like, I'm not sure trust is inherent in the future that we're in. And I think that's kind of sad. You all remember at the end of last year, I talked about a book called Talking with Strangers or something like that from Malcolm Gladwell. And he talks about a world where if we're all paranoid, society actually breaks down. Like, we can't all be thinking someone's out to get us, and we can't think everything is fake or everything isn't real. But I do think we have to, as organizations, provide a trustworthy framework and a trustworthy system that allows someone to look at a piece of content and go, was that created by the city? Right? These types of stamps right now, Adobe, I don't know if you know, but Adobe already includes metadata on content that says whether it's AI created or not. The challenge with that is metadata. There's only like 20% of the world, maybe that's even a lot, 8% of the world that even understands what metadata is or how to look for it. Kim is in the house. What's up, Kim? Awareness, not fear. Yes, exactly. And Nasli added in, AI needs to have strict guardrails. Yes, I agree, but those guardrails have to go beyond talk, right? We can't just talk. I mean, last year we talked about it and people are implementing, and that's great. This year, we need technology to actually support it. I was talking about last year this concept of constitutional AI.
Mm-hmm.
Well, this year you're going to see the AI Leadership Institute. We're going to be building out this control plane effort to allow you to just say, "Hey, I'm going to ingest an inventory of AI systems, and I want to go through a checklist, which maybe is part of the checklist we're going to cover at CES. Like, what are all the things?" And how do I make sure? How do I stay compliant? How do I stay in alignment? Not compliant with, though, yes, the EU AI Act or NIST or any of these other frameworks, but how do I just stay compliant with the promises I've made to my clients, with the commitment I made as an organization? Those promises are just as important as the compliance promises as well. So really exciting. I hope you enjoyed coming online and testing this out live with me, Sky and Mimi.
No, it's totally exciting, but just to add to that, I think that's where like responsible AI leaders and the AI leadership essentials that you have taught us is really imperative for these organizations, because you can't lead AI without understanding the back end of it. That's the most important piece I think people are missing. Like, hey, I want to throw AI out there. I want to use it. I want to do it because I want to be one of the first people. But they don't take the time in the back end from an operationalized perspective to really set up the right processes, tools, and guardrails to get them where they need to be to prevent those issues from happening down the line. So
absolutely. And Tracy Thornton's in the house. So thank you, Tracy. And she, of course, is one of our AI leaders, one of our members, one of the people who's been with us, OOGs, as they say. So it's great to have you in the house. Matthew, of course, we're doing something right when someone comes in and like promotes their own thing. So yay. Thanks for being here, Matthew. You definitely take a look at Clause 5 Safe. Oh, Clause Safe. I don't know what it's called.
Safe. Yeah.
Very cool. We'd love to have you on and talk about what you're doing there. And Nasli just finished a book. All right, so take a look. If you are not on LinkedIn, checking out the chats that are happening there, it is live. Lots of cool stuff. Amazing people. I'm so glad that this popped into your feed and that you got a chance to hang out with us. First one of the new year. We're going to be doing so many more of these. We're just going to take the daily news, break it down. I, as an executive, Padmini as a responsible AI expert, and Sky as our operational. Like, I just think it's a great, diverse perspective to look at the daily news happening in the world of AI. So thanks for joining us all, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.